we've been really fortunate. We have a combination of experts, not only in the field of practice, but also academic experts. We do a blend of both. This particular month, we're taking the second part of the second element of sales. The key thing, which I think is key to everybody, marketing the sales funnel. The first month we talked about sales strategies. Now we talk about market the sales funnel, and the next month is sales automation. So you see we try to drill down to the specifics. What's really exciting is that having the opportunity of meeting John Pyron. John is our presenter today. I want to read to you about him because this guy is a phenomenal speaker. He's got a phenomenal story and highly successful in his own right. But I want to read the bio because it really says a lot about John that I couldn't do it justice if I just ad-libbed it. John is an international business and sales expert who has trained thousands of people across 10 countries in business and sales principles. Through his front-of-the-room talks, webinars, conference calls, one-on-one coaching, and corporate sales training, and his coveted 10X Mastermind Groups, he has tapped people into 24 years of actual experience that he's had. What's really interesting is that he's described as something I've always wanted to be. He's actually been a centerfold. And I've always wanted to be a centerfold. But John's been a centerfold because John was a centerfold in the Sacramento Business Journal's fastest growing companies list. He was actually in the center spotlight page because he had taken a business during that great recession, depression we had of 2006 to 2009. He took a business from the beginning, from zero, and he grew it to $1 million in annual sales. And frankly, to do that in that type of economy is unheard of. He also then successfully sold it, and then he realized that he'd rather be coaching and mentoring people than growing businesses. So he started the John Pyron coaching program for his business, and he's been doing that ever since. I know he's been on the stage with Tony Robbins. I know that he's done these things with large groups. We're really honored that he would be our presenter for our workshop series this morning. So I want to introduce you to John and introduce John. Are you ready? There he is. There. I was turning around. I go, okay, I know he's in the back there. So.
Hey, I always wanted to do that with the comment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Paul will love that.
You said I was a centerfold?
Yes, it says right here. That's a center page spotlight. Centerfold.
But I like the centerfold.
It got their attention. I noticed that people were saying, what does this guy look like? So here he is. John, this is your group. I will give you the heads up when we get close to 10 o'clock, okay. But have fun with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So how many of you have sales systems in place? Okay. How many of you are achieving mind-blowing success with those systems? Just a few, right? How many of you are wondering if playing the lottery twice a week is a winning system? I have no idea what that has to do with anything. I just thought I'd throw it out there. So before I get started, let me tell you a little story. Back in the late 1800s, there was this pastor, preacher guy that used to go around to these cities and give these amazing talks. And as his popularity grew, the audiences got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to where they couldn't even close the flaps on the side of the tents. And every single town that he went to, it was completely sold out until he came to this one town. Came to this one town, came in a couple of days earlier, went around the hillside, handed out all these flyers. Come and hear the amazing speech on Sunday afternoon. Sunday comes around, no one showed up. About 12:10, still no one was there. Finally, about 12:15, one lone cowboy comes riding down the street there, hitches his horse to the stake, comes in, sits down in the front row, and he's ready to hear the amazing speech. The preacher doesn't know what to do. I mean, this is never happened, right? So he jumps off the stage and comes down and goes, "Cowboy, I never had this happen. What should I do? This place should be down." The cowboy looks in and says, "You know what? I have no idea. I'm just a cowboy. But I tell you this, if I went out to feed my herd and only one showed up, I'd feed it." Preacher goes, "You're absolutely right." Comes back up on stage, and for the next 2.5 hours, he gives one of the most amazing speeches he's ever given. Sweat dripping down, breathing heavy, he comes running off the stage, he goes, "Oh my God, that was an amazing speech. I mean, that was the best one I ever did. What did you think?" Cowboy looking like pissed off. Taking off, he goes, "Dude, I already told you I'm just a cowboy, but I tell you this, if I went out to feed my herd and only one showed up, I'd feed it, but I wouldn't dump the whole load on it." And so some of you get that on the way home. So here's the deal. What is your intention for being here? Let me turn on my little gizmo here. What's your intention for being here this morning? I'll tell you my intention. My intention is to give it all to you. I don't like coming here to speakers where they just give you a little bit, and then you got to give all of your information to get the rest of the story. How many of you don't like that? Okay. So I'm going to give you everything I got here today on how to create your sales funnel, how to design it, how to take it to market, how to pitch it, how to be successful with it. Is that okay with everybody if I do that?
Yep.
Okay. I need something from you. What I need you to do for the next hour is I need you to play full. Okay? Play full out, be 100% present. Cell phone, put it on mute. Now you know texting. Without your notepad, because I'm going to go very fast, I'm going to give you a lot of information. But what I want to be able to have happen is for you to walk out that door with all the stuff that you need to increase your sales. Who here would like to increase their sales? Okay. How many of us are sick and tired of guessing what works? And instead we would really like to know what works. Okay? So I'm going to give that all to you today. Before I hop into it, here's the thing I do know. If you went, however you came here today, how many of us would agree that we got to do something different when we walk out that door? We can't just go out there and be like everybody else. We got to find a way to stand out. Does everybody agree with that? In fact, let me ask you, how, from a standpoint of intention and commitment, how many of you are committed to do whatever it takes to succeed at whatever it is that you do? To the point that you would be willing to do this. If I told you that the worst thing you had to do to be massively successful is hop on a toy donkey with fire coming out of your butt, dressed in a suit like that with goggles, if that's what you had to do to succeed, would you do it?
Yes.
That kind of looks like Paul to me.
It does.
Yes.
So, I'm going to give you all the stuff so you don't have to do that. Okay? Before I start, let me share a little bit about my background. So in April of 1987, I was homeless, living in a trailer behind this house. This house is located on 40th Avenue, East 14th Street in Oakland, California. Now, Oakland's a really safe neighborhood, right? Yeah. In fact, I moved from Grand Prairie, Texas, which is in between Fort Worth and Dallas, so a little small town, back in the day where you can actually walk to school, to and from, without, worrying about it. My mom didn't really care. When she moved us to East Oakland, she did not get the memo that it was not safe to do that. Okay? So I learned how to run very fast. I really did. And so I found myself homeless at age 17 and a half. Parents had split up. And so if you've ever come from any type of broken situation, guess what? I can relate. Now, can you get much lower than homeless? Can you? Be 69. And one of the things I've learned through this experience and through helping thousands of other people around the globe is as long as you're breathing and you have all your modalities, it doesn't matter where you go. So some of you come here this morning and you're having some challenges. And you look good, you smell good, everything's going great, but there's some challenges going on. Maybe it's in your personal relationship, maybe it's in your business, maybe it's in sickness. And I want to let you know, here's the good news. The past is out there. The present's right here and right now. And the only thing that matters is now and the future. And I learned that the hard way a couple of different times. And this was the hardest time in my life right here. I remember standing outside of that trailer one day at the end of May in just tears. Because I'm thinking, my mom was a waitress, my dad was a tow truck driver. I had no training, no equipment. I mean, it was like, this is my life. But what I did learn is that, you know what? It doesn't matter, because here's this article that he was referring to. And September 24, 2010, that was the economy good? No. In fact, the only reason I show you this is a historical article. The Business Journal could not find 100 companies for the fastest growing companies the first year, the only year. It was that bad. They could only find 75. And And he came to me because this is the second year in a row, and he said, "What are you doing?" You know, I said, "Well, I don't know. You want me to tell you? You guys want me to tell you what I did?" So here's what happened. From $0 to $1 million in 3 years because I was ticked off. My ex-position. Okay. So find your dream before it finds you. The other thing I did is I hired a mentor. So this guy's named Dave Fanny. I started working with Dave in February 1996, and I hired a guy named Mike Sastry in December 15th, 2005 at 12:35 in the afternoon. Not that I remember. That's the day that my ex-business partner Mitch said, looks across the desk, and he just shorted my check $7 grand. And he said, "You know what? I understand what you're talking about, but you and I have a difference of opinion about how you should be paid." And it was like a snap in my brain. I mean, it was almost like a psychological break. I said, "I can't work for anybody ever again." And I haven't. Has it been peachy keen? No. It's been multiple challenges. When you look back at your own personal life, think about this. All the challenges that you've been through, all the stuff that you've gone through, all the disappointments that you've had, and all the successes that you've had, they've prepared you for where you're going to go in the future. If you think about all the stuff that you've gone through, is there any challenges that can come up where you can't make it through it? You've made it through it before, right? And you can do it again. The thing I learned more importantly is the people that I surround myself with, the books that I read, and the audios that I put in my brain. And that's what Dave taught me. He said, "You know what? I don't care where you come from. I don't care that you came from a divorced home, that you dropped out of high school, that your parents were got divorced, and all this other crap that you've gone through that you want to keep playing in your head. The only thing that matters is what you do now and going forward." Isn't that good news for a lot of us? Okay? So if you come in here and you're carrying a backpack with you, here's what I want you to do. There's a restroom right there. Just go in there and flush it down the toilet. Don't walk out of here with that stuff, because you can change your life. So again, the books you read, the audios that you listen to, and the people that you associate with. Now, I didn't do that alone. I had help. And so this is my wife, May. We've been married for 19 years. And my older son, Dylan, my younger son, Preston, who was a miracle kid, went through 3 in vitros, all of them failed, 55 grand down the drain. And physically, she couldn't get pregnant. Had a tube removed, everything else was blocked. I mean, it was literally physically impossible. And then we gave up, and we said, "Hey, we're just going to accept the situation." A lot of times, you know what's interesting in life? A lot of times, if we just become grateful for what we actually have, we open it up to receive more blessings in our life. And so she got pregnant like 3 months later. And she took me to the Olive Garden on Citrus Heights and handed me the pregnancy test on the table and go, "What, is it failed again?" And she goes, "No, I'm pregnant." And I go, "How'd that happen?" And she goes, "You know exactly how that happened." I go, "I didn't." And so the cool thing is you know what? Who in here is familiar with DISC? Right? So DISC, D is the dominant, that's a bottom line kind of personality. I is like a really high energy, jokester kind of personality. S is the really steadiness personality. Everything's got to stay status quo, don't like change. C is more of the analytical personality. And so my D score is a 99. And my I score, and that's on a scale of 1 to 100, my I score is like a 89. My S score, you know what it was? 2. Okay? Do you think it was difficult for this woman to survive 19 years? Yeah. She's taught me a lot about patience. And you know what? Here's the point. The people around you, that's what matters. Guess what? When you, at the end of the day, there's only so many U-Hauls you can put behind the hearse. That's what I've learned. I've gone to the top of the mountain where I was making, $60,000, $70,000 a month, driving all kinds of cars and houses and all this other stuff, pursuing that, and at the end of the day, found myself doing it. And what I learned through that exam, it all came crashing down, all the way back to where it was like the Thursday before Thanksgiving, and all I got coming in was $600 a month. And you know what I learned from that experience? Is you know what? It doesn't matter how far you fall, it only matters when you get up. Okay? And so I was able to recover from that and build a multi-six-figure income. And, you know, I don't care where you come from. I am here to tell you, when you walk out of here, everything can be different. So, we good? Everything's good? Okay. Let's hop into it. So, I built an international coaching practice. We're in 10 different countries. So I lead a mastermind group. All of you, if you go to Facebook, just look up the 10X Mastermind Group. You can join it for free. I do a call every Tuesday. The SBA, the United States Small Business Administration, actually picked it up. They sponsor it. So every single Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. You can be on my live call. There's no selling allowed on there. I just deliver great content. You can ask questions, and I'll answer live. I have another professional business owner there. Here's what I learned through all this experience. This is the only reason I'm sharing all this with you. I was homeless. I built a company with millions of dollars. They crashed and burned. I wasn't smart enough to save all that money. Okay? Had to rebuild it again. But the thing that saved my bacon every time was the mentors that I had. And so you get nothing out of what I'm going to say here today. Here's what I want you to do. Go find a mentor. Okay? Find someone that you can talk to, that you can bounce ideas off of, that can hold you accountable. Because when you own your own company, or you're in commission sales, now commission sales, if you work for somebody, you got somebody telling you what to do, but for the most part, you run your own company. Let's face it. You don't go out and produce, you're not going to eat. And so, what I tell all commission salespeople, I trained over 4,000 of them over the last 3 years, is you own your own company. Start looking at it as you incorporated, because that's reality.
Yeah.
If you don't go make it happen, you're not going to eat. And if you're a business owner in here, you already know. The only question I have for you is, are you all in? Or do you have plan B? And the most successful business owners I've ever met, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, I shared the stage with Robert Kiyosaki, Sacramento, those people were all in. There is no plan B. It's going to work. And what I discovered is working with business owners that are all in, it's a whole lot easier to get results. And so maybe if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, maybe you got to check that. Are you all in? Are you going after every single thing you've got? Because the help's out there. Some mentors you pay for, some of them you don't. I mean, I still mentor with Dave Vanny. I don't pay him that dollar. I still mentor with Mike. I was talking to him last night. Don't pay him a dollar. My new coach that I hired, Steve Appleton, I paid that guy a lot of money because I wanted. I'll be nice. I want a result. Okay. And so, if you're not working with somebody, find somebody. Here's some qualifications. I had this question asked yesterday when I was speaking yesterday. Is how do you find them? It's very simple. You got to respect them. You got to want what they have. They got to have a track record. They double check their track record. There's too many coaches. Coaching seems to be the new fad. There's a lot of coaches that are book coaches out there. They've never actually experienced it. They've never actually done what they're trying to teach you how to do. Be careful of that. My mentor, Jake Chia, back in 1994 says, nobody can teach you how to do something they haven't done. So be careful of taking that kind of advice. And sometimes you have multiple mentors, okay? Are we clear on this? This is the most important thing you can do to earn a six-figure income, a seven-figure income, okay? When the business journal came to me, I said, here's the deal. I hired Mike, I kept working with Dave, and I just I put my ego aside and did exactly what they told me to do, whether I wanted to or not. And I hired the best people to support me, and that's how we did it. I don't know how we did it. I did what I was told to do. There's the secret there. Okay? If you're not getting the results that you're looking for, find somebody that can help you, and then just do what they tell you to do. And it'll work. Okay? So let's hop into the content. There's 3 ways to increase your results. Number 1 is the inner game. That has to do with the mindset, your attitude. And this what I'm going to teach you right now will apply to anything you want to increase in your life. Maybe you want to have a better marriage. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with your kids. Maybe you want to have a better business, more sales, more leads. Whatever it is that you're trying to improve, it starts with mindset. And number 2, you have to have systems in place to make it happen. And that's the outer game. And then finally, you can have the best mindset on the planet. I mean, you can have the mindset of a Michael Jordan. You can have the best systems in place like a Michael Dell or Apple, but if you can't get your butt to take action, none of it matters, right? And so let's talk about the inner game. And we can't talk about the inner game without talking about mindset. And one of the mindsets of a champion is that there's always room to grow. How many of you would agree? Okay. How many of you believe that you have potential inside of you right now to perform at a higher level than the level you've been performing at? Okay. Me too. We never stop growing. One of the best stories I ever heard is about Michael Jordan when it comes to mindset. And one of the things that made Michael Jordan so great wasn't the fact that he was an exceptionally talented athlete, which is true. I mean, you have to be great just to play in the NBA. This guy took it out of the park. And one of the things that impressed me about him is his attitude towards growth. So every single summer, one of the true stories about him is every single summer he would work with a trainer, he would work with a specialist, and he would work on one aspect of his game. Not 25, not 30, one. And so one summer was a left hand. That's all he would focus on the entire summer is that left hand. And then the next summer it was the strength training. And it was that discipline, it was that focused effort that made Michael Jordan great. That's him though. What about you and I? So here's your first homework assignment. And this could be a little bit difficult. So if you're ready, write this down. Over the next 7 days, what I want you to do is get off by yourself for an hour or two and really do some soul searching. What is one thing in my life that I really, really need to improve? What is it? And here's how you know. What's the one thing I don't want to do? Right? What's the one behavior or attitude or system that I dread dealing with? Okay. I was just talking to Mike Sastry last night, and he was asking me, I've been putting off all year long on establishing my corporation. And I'm operating my coaching business as a sole proprietor. Dude, you're going to get freaking killed with taxes. I know. He goes, we had this conversation back in March. And I go, crap, you're right. So and what it is, it's something I don't want to do. I don't want to go through the pain and the hassle of forming it and all that other stuff. So next week, at the point, we're going to take care of it. That's a something minor. Think about every area of your life. What is one thing that if you make that one investment for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, just like Michael Jordan did, work with a trainer, work with a coach. You know, what is that one thing that if you just focused on making better, you can have success? You know what's interesting is, who remembers the Dream Team? 1990, what was it, 92? So it was Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, all the greats. And they're over in Barcelona and they're killing everybody. I mean, they're beating these teams by 55, 60 points. And one day, the next day they're going to play Spain. And Larry Bird, Magic Johnson at night, they were going, we're going to go party it up, man. Let's go find Michael. We went to look for him. They couldn't find him. And where they found him was he was in the practice gym shooting hoops. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? We're kicking these guys' butts. What are you in here for? And his response was probably the best lesson I ever learned in life, and that was, he said, you know what, I'm not competing against them. And I'm not competing against you two either. In fact, I have no competition on this planet. Okay? The only competition I have is me. And that's the reason I'm in here. And I never forgot that lesson. Because it was that day that I stopped competing with anybody. I stopped comparing myself. I didn't give a rip what anybody else was doing. And it's taken my wife a little bit of time to adjust that. Because she's always saying, well, what about Vladimir and his wife? They do this. And I go, I don't care what they do. and so here's the key. Stop competing against anybody else. You know why? There is nobody else to compete against. You want me to prove it to you? Look at the palm of your hand right now. Take a look at that. Do you realize out of 7.1 billion people, you're the only one that has those fingerprints? If we were to take a needle and poke your finger, take it over here to Sutter and test that blood, you're the only one out of 7.1 billion people that have that DNA. There is no comparison. There's no one to compete against. All you have to do is compete against yourself. And you will get better every single day. And some of you just need permission to do that. We live in such a competitive world where, you know, if you're a woman, you got to look this way and all that way. And if you're a guy, you got to look this way and all that way. And it's like, screw that. How about just be yourself and let your light shine? That way, at the end of the day, you know, when you're at the end of your days and you're looking back on your life, you can go, you know what, I have no regrets. I did what I should have done. Would that be a lot better way of going out versus getting to that point and going, should have taken that risk, should have started that business, should have did that. Of course it would. Okay. Don't let that be you. This is a client of mine. Her name is Denise Pommier. She owns a company called River Coyote Design up in Camino, California, over by Placerville, for those of you that don't know. I took her on as a client. She'd been in business 15 years. She'd had 3,000 clients for 15 years. Why do you need money? And she goes, I'm sick and tired of $2,500 projects and these micro clients. I want bigger clients. I go, there's a problem, man. Just go talk to some of these people. Because that scares the crap out of me. You know? I'm like, what? You have 3,000? I couldn't, and I go, oh, okay, you have a resistance to sales. How many of you have a resistance to sales in here? Okay? When you think of a salesperson, what do you normally think of? Anybody?
Pushy.
Pushy? Used car sales? What else?
Confident.
Confident? Fast talkers? Slick?
They're experts in what they're selling.
Okay.
So you should listen to them.
So you have a great opinion. Most people in our society have a negative opinion about salespeople. I mean, if you think about how we grew up in this country, a lot of us in here remember the days where we're sitting around the dinner table at 6:30 at night, and you know, Harry's calling, going, "Man, I'd like you to buy 25,000 subscriptions to buy, man." Right? And we get disturbed every evening, or we go to the car dealership with our parents, or as an adult, and we got the guy that's a leech that won't let us go. Right? After coming in 5 or 6 times, we tell him, hey, this is all I can afford, this is what I want to do. He's coming back one more time, and then finally I'm all the way to my car, and he goes, please, come back, please. And that's our view of a salesperson. And it's not your fault, which is good news. But that's what most people think of when they think of a salesperson. There's like a stigma in this culture about a salesperson. Will we agree with that? Okay? So let me ask you this. If that's your definition, if that's going on in your head, understand that that negative mindset has a negative effect on your sales results. It does. But here's what I learned about our mind. Who in here has read the book Think and Grow Rich? Napoleon Hill. Okay? If you have it, it needs to go on your list today. One of the best books written about mindset. And in chapter 4, he talks about a technique called auto-suggestion. He says you can literally reprogram the subconscious mind, because the conscious mind typically only has 7 to 9 thoughts at one time. Can't really concentrate on any more than that. The subconscious has millions of thoughts going on. And the more you reprogram and focus on the subconscious mind, all of a sudden your conscious mind starts taking the action. And so if you have a resistance to sales, making the phone call, asking for the order, generating leads, talking to perfect strangers, let me give you something, a practical exercise that I gave her, and she actually did it, and what's interesting is this email right here. She signed the biggest deal in my company's history, and it only took me 60 days to change her mindset. She went from doing $2,500 projects to $16,000 projects.
Nice.
Okay? Because of this. I didn't really do anything other than help her change this. But what ended up happening is, I told her, I said, okay, here's a new definition of sales. And if you would write this down. Selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. So selling equals service. Sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. Isn't that a better definition of sales? Now, here's what I want you to do. If you struggle with this, struggle making phone calls, it scares you, right? You're not alone. But here's what I want you to do. Here's what I told Denise to do. Okay? They said, I want you to put this on a 3x5 card. And I want you to read this out loud or to yourself 10 times a day for the next 30 days. Can you do that? She said yes. Will you do that? Was a better question as a follow-up. Okay? Will you do that? She said yes, and she did. And then she calls me up. She goes, I made my first cold call. I'm like, congratulations. She goes, I got an appointment with him. What do I do? I go, I don't know. Tell me about it. I don't know what you do yet. Tell me about it. So I coached her through the entire appointment. We role-played the process, helped her face her fear. And then on March 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon, she sends me this text. They signed! I'm like, yes. You know? And we'd come up with 3 different options. One of them was a $9,000 option, one of them was a $12,000 option, and one of them was a $16,000 option. And I said, which one should they buy? And she says they really need the $16,000, but they said they only had $10,000 in their budget. So that's why I put the $9,000 option. How many of you have not sold the client? Don't raise your hand. How many of you have sold the client a lesser price because they said my budget is this, but you know in your heart of hearts they need this? Okay, we all have. And a lot of times it's because we're focused on our commission or what we're going to make versus focusing on what they actually need. And I said, what do they need? She said, they need the $16,000 project. That they don't have budget. I go, yeah, they do. Let me show you how that's done. Okay? We're going to take our eyes off of ourselves, and we're going to put it on them, and we're going to come up with all the reasons why they need that, and what they're going to benefit from, and how it's going to impact their business, and how it's going to make them more money, and then we're just going to tell them about it. And then find out if they want that. And if they want it bad enough, trust me, they will find the money. How many of you bought in something, you walked in, and you didn't have the money, but you walked out with the item? Right? All of us have. We find the money for the things that we want. And so I taught her how to sell on value, how to sell from this place versus trying to sell them on something they don't need. And if you do that, you will make a lot of money. Because at the end of the day, our job in sales or as business is to just find their need, help them identify why they want it, do they really want it, and then what's it going to do for them, and then just give it to them. Okay? And so she ended up writing this testimonial for me, and it was amazing. I mean, she's just, it's amazing to see somebody create a breakthrough like that. I had our mutual friend, Deborah Scarpa, right? She's been in business 25 years, same thing. Had that same problem. She was stuck at about $6,000 a month, and now she's doing almost $40,000 a month because of this. It's the only thing I changed for her. I changed this, and her light shines through, and her customers love her. And so, embrace that. Do that exercise, and it'll change your life. Everybody in here has a baseline in terms of the results that you're producing on a monthly basis. So, when you think, I learned this strategy back in 1992 from a guy named Clark. they say if you want to see an increase, you got to know where you're at first. So when we go to the mall and we're looking for a specific store that we don't want, that we don't know where it's at, what's the first thing that we do? We find the map, right? We find the store and we identify it on the map. So in order to get there, what do we have to know?
How do we at?
Where we're at. So we're looking for that red dot on there, right? It's the same thing with this. In order to get to where you want to go, you got to know where you're at. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to set an appointment with yourself on the last day of every month. Once your day is done. Once the month is officially done for you, some of it's going to be 5 o'clock. For me, it's 5:01. I shut it down. Some of you, it could be midnight. But set an appointment with yourself. Could be a half hour, could be an hour. And what you want to do is, okay, how did I do? And let's just say, for example's sake, you did $10,000 this month. Well, $10,000 would be your baseline. What's also included in the baseline is everything that you did to earn the $10,000. Phone calls you made, appointments you set, appointments that you ran, the proposals that you put in place, the deals that you closed. And here's the strategy. If you do this every single month, I promise you, you will see an increase every single month. I got so sick of this type of sales thing. So who in here are sick and tired? This would be time. This would be money. You know, you're up 1 month, you're down 1 month, you're up 1 month, you're down 1 month, you're up, you're down, you're up. I mean, it looks like the stock market, right? Okay? How many of you would like to have a sales curve that goes like this? It just goes like that. How many of you would like to have it?
A little higher, John.
Okay. What was that?
A little higher.
A little higher?
Yeah.
What? Okay. So I forgot Krista. We're here. Right?
That's
We're
good. I
Okay.
like that.
All right. And I'm glad you're here. Krista's been my friend for years, and so. But here's how you do it. Every single month, at the end of the month, sit down, draw out your business. Okay, what'd you do? How'd you do it? And here's what you're going to do the next month. Here's what you're going to do in September. You're going to continue to do what you've been doing because it's producing a positive result. And then if you do what I'm telling you to do here, you'll have your mentor in place, and you go, dude, what's one thing, just one thing, that I can do in the month of September that I didn't do that will give me a better result? It's like Michael Jordan. Not 20 things, one thing. If you implement one new idea every month for a year, how many new ideas do you have? It's not hard. Like my kids in 8th grade, he's doing multiplication. And so you have 12, right? And so over 5 years, how many do you have? 5 times 12? 60, right? And so I started doing this in 1992. And I eliminated this right here by just simply taking inventory of where I'm at. So if you're not doing that, you get to do that from now on, and it'll make all the difference in the world. Who in here would like to have more referrals? Okay? Who in here has a referral system in place? Okay. Let me redefine it real quick, and I want to ask the question again. How many of you were coming up to September? In September, you know exactly how many referrals you're going to get. You know when they're coming to you, and you know whom they're coming from, and on what day. Okay, now that I've defined it, who in here has a referral system in place? Bam! Okay, I'm going to give you, I did a LinkedIn, in fact, I'm going to give it to y'all, but I'm going to send you something else. So I did a 3-hour LinkedIn with a LinkedIn expert, Penny Pearl. We did 3 hours, we charged for it. I'll give it to everybody here for free, okay? It has a 102-page ebook. If you do what you're talking about, then you're going to create one massive referral system. Here's how it works. So, how many of us have wow clients? Okay? In other words, the type of client where, you know, you like them, They like you, you're hard-cutted putters, right? You know, and it's just a great experience. They're you either have them now or you've had them in the past. To the point where you're ready to go camping, campfire, s'mores, sing kumbaya, I mean the whole 9 yards, right? We all have those kind of clients. And so, now here's how you know you don't have one. So, if you have your cell phone, right? So your cell phone, the call comes in. What's normally on a cell phone? They get the red button and they get the green button. And you know you have a wild client. You know you don't have a wild client when they go, I'm going to check my email first. And you press that red button. Or they call and you go, hey, you know what? I'm in a meeting. Hold on just a sec. I'm in a meeting. I'll call you right back. Okay, we got to finish this up. I got to call this. I mean, how many of us would like to have all of our clients be like that? How many of us got clients that we don't want? Yeah. So here's how you get rid of it. Okay? Number one, we got to figure out who the perfect client is. Now, all of you in here are from this area, so you should be familiar with this. The American River goes from the Delta up towards Folsom. It stops at Nimbus Dam. And then it goes Nimbus Lake, then Folsom Lake, and there's another dam. And if there was any water in there, we can go fishing. So Rebecca, if I came to your house, I said, hey, let's go fishing. And you said, hey, no problem. And we go to Folsom Lake, and we put our pole in the water where we find water. Would it matter what kind of fish we catch? Caught a catfish, perch, bass, wouldn't really matter, right? But if I said to you, let's go salmon fishing. Okay. Could we go to Folsom Lake with our pole in the water? No. Okay. So at Hazel Avenue and Highway 50, there's the Nimbus Hatchery. And when there's water, every November, okay, every October, September, I think it's September, October, November, the salmon swim upstream, they jump that ladder and spawn. So if we wanted to go salmon fishing, we go hang out there, right? We would go to Folsom Lake. Why? Because that's where they are. Same thing with our WOW clients. Guess what they know? They know other people just like them. Yeah? And so here's how you do it. We're going to do a perfect client exercise. It starts like this. Number one, we're going to identify who they are. So this is some serious homework. If you do this over the next 7 days, this will change your entire business. I promise you. Every single person, over hundreds of people I've talked to this, just go to my LinkedIn profile, read the recommendations. It changed their business. Identify who they are. Come up with at least 10. Put them on separate sheets of paper. Joe Smith, Sally Smith. In my case, I did with Deborah Scarborough, Denise Fournier, a lot of these clients, right, that I absolutely love them. They love me. So I wrote them on a sheet of paper. That's number one. Identify who they are. Number two, we're going to describe them in detail. What age are they? What race are they? What sex? What everything that you know about them, you want to put in there. Are they a homeowner? Are they a business owner? A salesperson? What do they do for a living? What's their personality type? All that stuff. To the point where you can send it to me, I can read it, and I can picture them. It's very important to be that detailed. Okay? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take that piece of paper. Well, before we do that, we need to do one more thing. Describe the WOW experience. Where were they at before you took them on? What kind of pain were they having? What kind of challenges were they having? What did you do to solve that problem? What made it a WOW experience for you? Okay? Write that down. And then here's the magic move. We're going to put them on the wall. Okay? We're going to take a highlighter and we're going to step back and they're going to be on the wall. We're going to go, yep, woman, 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 man, okay? All the different characteristics of who they are. And what you're going to find is success leaves clues. There's going to be a pattern there. That's step number one. And do it with all three sections. Who they are, okay, how you describe them, and what was the WOW experience. And what you're going to find, the ones that you had the most fun with, the ones that you consider a WOW client, you're going to have lots of commonalities. And then the magic move is get a blank sheet of paper, and you're going to take all the commonalities and you're going to create your perfect client definition. Okay. Now, can we, so highlight the key traits, identify common traits. Can we just go to market with that? Can, but again, we want to stop guessing and start knowing. So how do we find out what our wow clients think about us? We ask them. We ask them. That's it. It's as simple as that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a survey. Okay? And if you don't know how to do a survey, in fact, if you want this entire PowerPoint deck, and I have the perfect client exercise, I have it all written out, I have the survey, and every single thing I'm going to talk about this, I'll give you a way to do that. Just my phone number will come up at the end. Just send me a text, okay, with your name and email address, and I'll drop it all in there. Now the LinkedIn thing's about a 1 gig file, so I get to put it in Dropbox. You have to send me your email address, and I'll add you to that, okay? Am I going to contact you afterwards? You bet I am. Okay, but I'm not going to bug you. So survey. Now here's the deal with the survey. Will our wow clients respond to a survey? Yeah. Why? Because they love us. Okay? And so, can we just send it off to them and expect a response? No. Even my best client won't do it. I have to call them. And that's great, because now I got a reason to talk to them. And here's some of the main questions we're going to ask. What did you get the most out of working with me? In fact, when I send you this survey form, I'm going to have some really cool questions on there. If you just actually follow what's on that survey form and send it out just like it is, you're going to be amazed at the results you're going to get. Okay, with questions like, what did you get most out of working with me? What was your greatest value that you got? What is the one area that I was able to help you improve your business? Where was your business at when we came on? What was the big challenge? Why did you hire me? Why did you start working with me? And then the final question, this question has to go into every survey that you ever send out for the rest of your life. What's your biggest challenge now? You can take this and send it to all your past clients, all your existing clients, and some of you, at the end of the day, if you do this today, some of you tomorrow will have more leads to follow up with than you can even get to. Okay? So I'm not talking doing this just for your existing clients. I'm talking about going back in your memory bank on all the wow clients you've ever had in your entire life. And you send them this. And they're going to be like, oh, thanks for reaching out to me. And then you're going to find out what they're struggling with right now, and guess what you get to do? You get to go help them. Okay? So that's what you do. Now, this system right here. Now, once I have identified, okay, let me back up actually, because I need to tell you what to do with this. When you get this back, okay, you're going to send it out, they're not going to respond. Maybe 20% will respond. But here's what I want you to do. The next day I want you to call them. And we say, hey Joe, John Pyron, how are you? Hey, I sent you the feedback form. I'm really, really looking to improve my business and grow. Do you have 5 minutes that I can ask you 5 questions? And they're going to say, sure. And then you ask them the 5 questions and write it down. And then the very last question, the cool thing about that last question, and getting them on the phone, what's your biggest challenge right now? They're like, wow. Don't stop there. Ask the next question. How's that affecting you right now? Really? That's nice. And so and you just keyword backtrack with them. Just say, hey, so what I'm hearing you say is it's causing some problems in your business and you're having this challenge. How's that affecting you? And you just keep probing. You say, you know what? Why don't we do this? Because I promise you only 5 minutes. I've got some time in my calendar tomorrow or next week. When I stop by and let's work through this challenge together. How does that sound? And they're going to say yes. And some of you are going to get 5, 10 appointments tomorrow by doing this. Yeah, you will. Okay. So when you get the survey back, here's the magic move. You do exactly what you did when you did your perfect client exercise. Is you put their surveys on a wall. And then what you want to do is take your highlighter and highlight their words, their keywords. Now there's a term there that I want to introduce you. You highlight their keywords. Rebecca, why is keywords important in marketing?
To use them for actually marketing your services online. Search, organic search, you want to put content.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what you become searchable on. Do you know that if you have a LinkedIn profile, you have a website? You know, LinkedIn profiles use keywords. Okay, if you go to my YouTube channel, I believe it was, I want to say May, just look up LinkedIn SEO. I interviewed an SEO expert on my weekly call, and I put it up on YouTube. You can get it for free, but he talks about how to implement keywords in your LinkedIn profile to where your LinkedIn profile actually ranks higher than your own website. Because LinkedIn has such a magnetism when it comes to search engines, and Google places it at a very high level, especially if you have video in your LinkedIn profile and so forth. Now that you've done your perfect client exercise, and you've actually, your client's giving you all the stuff that they need, because in marketing, does it matter what I think about me? No. What matters? What they think about me. And I just got what my clients thought about me, and I'm going to attract more of them. And then we're going to take that, you're going to put it in your LinkedIn profile, you're going to put it on your Facebook post. In fact, every Facebook post that you do from now on, or LinkedIn post, is going to have some of those keywords in there. Because you know now. You're not going to guess anymore. And what's going to happen is, on your very next appointment, who's got appointments this afternoon, tomorrow, and the rest of the week? Okay? Here's what I want you to do. Once you've done this exercise, you're going to now have keywords. And you're going to be able to go to your prospect or client's LinkedIn profile, and right below, hit on their connections, and in that little magnifying glass, you're going to start typing your keywords. And then you're going to get their Rolodex of all your perfect clients. And here's what I do every single appointment. I take Word, I cut and paste, I have 10. And when I go to the appointment, I have a great appointment, and at the end of the appointment, I go, you know what? I had a chance to check out your LinkedIn profile. And you know what? A guy named John Pyron was speaking at the Rockland Chamber of Commerce, and he taught me this strategy, and I'm going to teach this strategy to you. Because I'm going to teach you how to get referrals from now on. So here's what I did. I went to your LinkedIn profile, I noticed that you know these 10 people. Now, when you turn the sheet around, you say, do you know that person? Do you actually know the person? Can I mention your name? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. My average right now is 6. I walk out of there with 6 referrals that they actually know. Okay? The highest has been 9. But how many of us say, hey, you know, have I done a great job for you? And they go, yeah. Do you love me? Yeah. Hey, can you think of somebody to refer me? No, let me think. They never do. Right? And it's not that they don't like you. It's just that we're busy. But what would it be like if you did just this, and you went to them and said, hey, do you know these people? Hey, okay, so these 6 people, great. Hey, do you mind if I contact them? No. In fact, hey, I'm going to go back to LinkedIn, and I'm going to ask you to introduce me to them. I'll actually send you a script, and you just cut and paste that. Would you be willing to do that for me? And they're going to say yes. And they're going to thank you because you just taught them a referral system. And here's the magic move. Everything I'm teaching you here today, go teach your clients. And if you do, you're going to help them make more money, and they're going to love you. Do you think your competition is going to be able to come in and take that client from you once you start helping them make money? No. No. And that's what it comes down to. Selling equals service. Right? We service those clients. Now, another system that you can do once you have this perfect client exercise is they're going to give you all the stuff. So they're going to give you all the keywords to use in okay, who is a good referral for me? They're going to give you what industries that you mostly have success with, what types of people that you mostly have success with. And then you're going to be able to, here's what I do. I'll send everybody the blank copy of this form. You can edit it and make it your own. Okay? So I chose 4 because when I tell people, I say, okay, hey, if you send me a referral, in fact, I'm going to do this for the next 25 years. So any of you in here, okay? What I tell them is each one of these spots right here is worth 25 bucks. So any of you that want a Benjamin Franklin, okay, from me, anytime for the next 25 years, all you have to do is, when I send you this form, keep the form. And you want a new pair of shoes? You want, you know, a G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip for the kid, right? You just send me this form. Okay? Now, if you're in insurance or financial services, you got to be careful here. I have a couple of clients that are top producers in financial services, and there's different strategies we run with the same system. Okay, but you got regulations and stuff that you got to be careful of. So just I want to make sure you understand that. But when I send you this form, the Magic Move is customized. Do all the stuff I'm talking about. You will have more referrals than you know what to do. Why would we want to have more referrals versus just leads? Anybody? More success, right? Okay? So, this is my client Shantae. She's out of Huntsville, Alabama. She's been with me a couple of years now. And she's built 2 different businesses with this system from scratch. And all she did was she went back to her WOW clients from other industries and did the exercise. And they loved the experience so much that they said, well, yeah, I'm going to find some leads for you. Right? And that's how she was able to build 2 other companies. So it definitely will work for you. How many of us invite people to our homes and our businesses and it looks like this? Okay? No walls. Come on over, check out my product, my service. And we invite them in and they're like, oh yeah, sit here, there's nothing. In fact, if you got to go to the restroom, there's the outhouse right there. Okay? How many of us are going to market with a half-built sales funnel? How would you like to have a full sales funnel where you invite somebody to your house and it looks like that? Wouldn't that be a better place to go to and actually use the restroom and, you know, have a barbecue, right? So let's talk about sales funnel. The key is, now I'm not talking about a lead funnel. I'm not talking about what you do with a lead in the sales process. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a marketing funnel, a sales funnel. Some of us have 1 or 2 things that we take to our clients, but not after today. Because I'm going to give you, they'll give you everything. Like I said, we're going to create a customer magnet, tripwire product, core offer, profit optimizer, and retention and referral. So here's the deal. If we look at a core customer magnet, how many of us are experts at something? Okay, we can teach somebody something. Heck, all the stuff I gave you today, you can actually teach. So what we got to do is we got to create a magnet. A magnet is something that our prospect or customer can consume in 5 minutes or less. It has value. It actually gives them all the stuff that they need to succeed, but not the rest of the story. But it does have a tremendous amount of value to the point where they want to give us their name, their email address, and their phone number. Okay? Or if we do any type of public speaking, we can give them something of value and they're going to benefit from it. Now, if you're struggling with this, this could be an ebook, this could be a video, this could be all kinds of things. Let me give you this something simple that every one of us can do in here. I want you to take the top 10 questions in your industry. The top 10 questions that people ask you about your industry, your product, your business. And then what I want you to do is I want you to get your digital camera or your iPhone or whatever device you have. And I want you to say, hey, you know what, I was talking to a client the other day. Let me just actually do it in a real world scenario. So I was talking to a client yesterday actually, and he asked me, he said, you know what, now that we're working together, where do I want to go? And I taught him the thing about the mall. I said, you know, if we're in the mall, where do you want to go? He said, well, okay, I want to go here. How do you get there? We got to find out where we're at, the red dot, right? Okay. So what we got to do is we got to decide, okay, where are you at right now? We got to decide to plan where we go. How many of you, and I would be talking on the video. So here's the point. Then what you need to do if you want to succeed in life or business or anything, your marriage, family, relationships, if you want to see an improvement anywhere, you've got to take a baseline of where you're at. And then you've got to lay out a step-by-step plan on how to get to where you want to go. Stop. Now I got a YouTube video that's about 2 or 3 minutes long. More than 3 minutes. I'm going to take it, put it up on my YouTube channel. YouTube is going to transcribe it for me for free. Okay? Then I'm going to take that, I'm going to find a teenager, I'm going to say, put this in like a readable form. Okay? Or a VA that I can pay $5 an hour. Now I got my ebook. and I want to create a top 10 questions video series and an ebook. Now I've got 10 magnets plus the ebook. Okay? And so when I'm talking to a client or when I meet somebody at a networking event, how many of us meet somebody at a networking event and we have a conversation with them and they go, so what is it that you do? And we go, and the guy looks worn out after we're done, right? It's like, I just asked what you did, dude. I didn't ask for the whole commercial, right? Here's the magic move at networking events, okay? Never talk about yourself, okay? Know what you're going to say when somebody says, what do you do? So what I say, if I met you at a networking event and you came up to me and you said, what do? I go, you know what, I look for frustrated business owners who are stuck in their business, and it can be 1,000 reasons why they're stuck. I take them and I help them create their own portable ATM machine. That's what I do. They go, how the hell do you do that? And that's the question I want. Okay? It's called an ICR, an interest creating remark. I want them to say, how do you do that? And then my move on that is, you know what? I do it a lot of different ways. Okay? I don't know what would work for you. Tell you what, why don't we do this? I've got an ebook that will answer the top 10 questions that I get asked all the time. I've got it on video. I've got an ebook. Tell you what, I'll just send it to you. Check it out. If you want to know more, why don't we get together? In fact, why don't we just get together for 10 minutes on the phone sometime next week? I'll send you all the stuff. And they're going to go, yeah, and go, okay. How do you want me to send that to you? And I go, here's my card. How many of us have to ask for a card? How would you like it to go? Here, take my card. Let's give it to me. And then you want to do something really weird? Don't give them a card back. When they give you the card, pause, take it, put it in your pocket, and just say, hey, so talk to me about, and they're going to be, watch the physical change. They're going to be like, can I have your card? And it's a psychological thing, okay? And you want to do this because it's easier to do business with somebody that wants to do business with you versus them feeling like you're chasing them. And if you really have their best interest in mind, are you helping them? See, when I set appointments with somebody for 10 minutes or 2 hours, I look at it this way. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm giving them a gift. Not because I'm great. It's just because I'm not. I'm just like everybody else. But I'm going to give them so much value in that appointment. Whether we do business or not, their life's going to be different. Okay? And so that would be the first step. We're going to create a customer magnet. And you can create all kinds of customer magnets. Okay? If you work for a company, there's all kinds of free stuff that you can give away. Okay? Tripwire, 1 to 97 bucks. Everybody in here should have an ebook that they can sell for 10 bucks. Everybody in here should do a webinar, teach something that you're passionate about, and charge for it. People will actually pay for it. They really will. If the content's good, and you do what I'm talking about with the 10 questions, because once you put those 10 questions out on YouTube, how YouTube treats videos is you're the top video on the planet until the market proves you wrong. Okay? And if you, I mean, the top viewed YouTube video is this, what, the finger biting with the kid, right? Okay? And so it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. But the key is have great content out there. Well, I don't like to be on video. I don't look good on video. Well, guess what? If they set an appointment with you, they're going to meet you, they're going to see you, right? Okay? It's the hardest part of sales. Trust and rapport. And that will solve it. I had a client I was following, Comstock Mortgage, Mike Ferreira. He's following up that guy was a referral. John Curry referred me into there. Followed up with him in January. Oh yeah, come on out and speak to my sales team. I'm like, okay, great, here's my information. I had to follow up with that guy for a year. 14 months to be exact. Couldn't get anywhere. I mean, wouldn't return a phone call, email, none of that stuff. Great guy, but 45 follow-ups later didn't return my stuff. I'm like, dude, I was referred to you. But once they say they're interested, here's the secret to follow-up. When somebody says they're interested in your stuff, follow up, follow up, follow up, until they buy or die. Okay? So they say, don't call me anymore. You follow up. And then I got this wild idea. You know, I do all this speaking and all this stuff. Why don't I cut a YouTube video? And I did. And I sent it to him. Hey, when can you speak to my group? I'm like, that did it? And I've been doing videos ever since. Because we're human beings first. I need to be able to look in your eye, see your sincerity, and relate. And you will stand out amongst everybody else if you do that in today's market. Okay? So, Tripwire, core offer. This is what you're best known for. So, you want to create multiple different packages here. Okay? Profit Optimizer is the thing that, hey, it's an outrageous product that you create. Maybe it's a bundled package that you may sell maybe 1 or 2 a year, but it's out there. And then retention referrals, find a way to do retention with your clients. Once you get a client, a good retention program would be to set up a time where you can meet with them over and over again and train them and coach them. Every single one of us in here are in business and in sales. Our clients are in business and in sales. Everything I've taught you here today, you'll consume it at a deeper level if you turn right around and teach it to your clients. Heck, you can create a whole series of workshops teaching. I'm going to give you this PowerPoint deck. You can teach exactly what I'm telling you, and your clients will be like, you're like, dude. And you know why you can do that? Because I didn't invent this. There hasn't been an original thought in 10,000 years. It's just, I say it a different way. And when you teach this, you're going to say it a different way. Does that make sense? Okay? So, and referrals run that referral system, and you're going to have more, where am I going quick? You're going to have more business than you can get to. Here's the key. Multiple ways people can come with you. Okay? And let me give you one more tip, because I know we got to get wrap it up here. Appointment setting. In today's society, we're very busy. And when you call up somebody and say, hey, I'd like to get together to get to know you, get to know your business, and see if there's any way I can help out, what's the first thought going through their mind or even going through my mind? I don't have time. Busy. But what if you say it the same way but add something else? You say, hey, you know what, Aaron? I met you at the Rockland Chamber of Commerce event. Hey, you know, did you get a lot of value out of it? You're going to say yes. I already know you're going to say yes. And I'll say, hey, you know, is there a time where you and I could spend 10 minutes on the phone? Just like get a chance to know you a little bit better, see if there's any ideas or strategies that I can help you out with. She's probably going to say yes, because I said 10 minutes. Okay? You want to increase your appointment setting? Do the 10 minutes first. Get them on the phone for 10 minutes. Say, hey, you know what? I promised you 10 minutes. Let me ask you this. What's the biggest challenge that you're having right now? See, I'm going there with the idea of helping. Even if they don't set an appointment. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a match. I'm not looking to just set an appointment with anybody. So if they say, this is my biggest challenge, I say, you know what? How's that affecting you? Yeah. Let me ask you this. Is your current strategy going to solve that challenge? 90% of the time they're going to say no. And then I say, hey, are you open to some new ideas? Yes. Great, let's get together for a half hour or so. Bam, they set the appointment. A lot easier way to set appointments. A lot less, and you weed out the people that aren't a fit. Okay? So that's that. Behind every success is effort. Behind every effort is passion. Behind every passion is someone with the courage to try. Ken Blanchard, who wrote The 1 Minute Manager, and Well Done. There's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, there's no excuses, only results. Now, everything that I taught you here today, you can take and you can succeed. You don't need any more of my help with it. If you want my help, I will be more than happy to spend time with you. But the only thing that's going to stop you is procrastination. It's procrastination. Okay? In the state of Colorado, it's got one of the few geographical landscapes where there's both buffalo and cows. And in that state, what's interesting is how these two animals right here react to a storm. In Colorado, the storms normally come in from the Rocky Mountains. They come over the foothills and off to the Great Kansas Plains. what's interesting is how these two animals react. The cow will look at the storm and say, crap, there's a storm. Will turn around in the opposite direction and will run as hard and as fast as he can away from the storm. And I don't know if you know this or not, but cows don't run very fast. And the storm will catch up to them. And instead of stopping, they try to run even faster. And they get all the pain of the storm. Let me ask you a question. Is that stupid or what? How many of us have stuff that we know we're supposed to be doing, and yet we procrastinate on it, and it gets bigger and more painful? So all we got to do is do what the buffalo does. Buffalo sees a storm. There's a storm, go, crap, there's a storm. All right. True story. And they charge as hard and as fast as they can directly into the storm. Why?
Get it over
It
with.
gets to the other side. Get it over with. Okay? And if you remember nothing else other than this today, is you want to be the buffalo. Problems that are procrastinated on, they're only amplified.
Be the buffalo.
Be the buffalo. Every single one of us know what to go do to succeed in our business and in our lives. And there are the difficult things that we keep putting off, that we're not facing. And if you just take action, you'll be able to succeed. So one of the actions that you can take, join the 10X Mastermind Group. Doesn't cost you anything. Okay, there's no selling allowed in this group. It's great content. Add value to this group. Okay? Tell people what you do, what your strengths are. Okay? Who you are. There's a ton of people in there. There's like 400, and I think we're never advertising. 485 people in 10 countries on there. It's great. The next thing you can do, I have a sales mastery workshop series that I do. 2 full days. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on a Saturday, Sunday. Next one coming up, and there's a flyer back there on the table back there. September, it's the 3rd weekend, so September 19th and 20th. If you can't make that, the 3rd weekend in October and the 2nd weekend in November. I only got 3 of these that I do at the end of the year. I limited it to 20 people because it's a very interactive workshop. There we unpack and design your entire sales foundation. Okay, we go through the entire marketing funnel, the sales funnel, we unpack it, we take your sales process, we rip it apart, and we put it all back together to where now you could stop guessing, you'll know it works. I've had people come out of here and double, triple, quadruple their businesses in very short periods of time. You're going to build your sales funnel. Everything that we talk about, you're going to actually go through those exercises in group settings, and you're going to walk out of there with it done. You're not going to have stuff to go do on Monday. You're going to implement on Monday. Okay? Because by implementing, I'm going to teach you how to take it to market, how to sell it, all that stuff. Now, I charge $4.95 for it. The only time I ever discount it is when I speak. That's it. You'll never see another discount anywhere other than now. Okay? So, if you sign up today, I will give you a 1.5-hour strategy session with me one-on-one. And we'll unpack whatever challenge you have in your business or sales funnel, and I'll give you the best ideas that I have. I guarantee it. If you come to the event, to the Saturday event, and you say, hey, you look me right in the eye, and you go, it didn't change my life, I'll give you your money back, right then and there. Okay? I've yet to give one single refund. And so it's like cheating. I learned this from my own coach. Okay? So today, $195. Okay? If you want to take advantage of it, on the back table back there is the flyer for it. You can sign up on the form. If you don't feel like putting your credit card number on there or check, I have a little swiper thing from PayPal. Okay? But sign up for it today, because here's the bottom line. Whether you sign up for this or not, you're going to pay either way. Never let money stand in the way of anything. If the money is an issue, come talk to me privately, and we'll work something out. But I want you to be there, because people's lives get changed at this thing. They get more clarity about their goals, their dreams, their vision, where they want to go. But more importantly, I create that space between that red dot and that store you want to go to. We unpack the entire route on that weekend. And you know exactly how you're going to get to where you really, really want to go. Some of you have been stuck at an income level for a long time, and you really want to make more. And you really want to have a better life, and we're going to unpack it and show you how to get there. So whether you sign up today or not, you're going to pay either way. And it's $195 $195 today, or it'll cost you $195 because of the ideas that you won't have. You'll get to continue to stay right where you're at. Okay. So, any other? Did you guys get a lot of value out of it? Okay. A lot of stuff today. Implement what I was talking about. Okay. If you want a copy of this PowerPoint deck, and you want the survey, I'll send you the survey form on step-by-step how to do it, the referral form where you can change it and modify it. I'll send you that 3-hour LinkedIn deal that I did with Penny Pearl with the ebook. Okay, that's very valuable for people in LinkedIn. Just send me a text or send me an email. Okay, here's my email address. My cards are on the back table back there. But text me or send me your email address, and then I'll be packaging all this. I got to drop it in a Dropbox because it's a big file. And I'll probably send it out maybe tonight or tomorrow. Okay? You guys get a lot of value?
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.